Ramin Setoodeh is the co-editor-in-chief of Variety magazine, who had the opportunity to interview Donald Trump 6 times, beginning shortly after Trump lost the 2020 election. The result of those interviews is his new book, Apprentice in Wonderland, How Donald Trump and Mark Burnett Took America Through the Looking Glass, which details Trump's rise as a reality TV star and how that ultimately propelled him to run for president. Ramin joins us now. Thank you so much. 2004, here's the book, by the way.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. 2004 was a time when Donald Trump was, sort of in the doghouse, floundering real estate at that time. There were multiple bankruptcies. TV producer Mark Burnett had to sort of reinvent him. How did he do that?
He reinvented him by making Donald Trump into America's next business hero. And my book traces how The Apprentice rebranded Donald Trump as from a New York celebrity into a national celebrity that everyone loved, with this catchphrase, "You're fired." Soon they were talking Donald Trump dolls, a Donald Trump board game, and people really loved The Apprentice. It was a huge show at the time because it made people feel smart and it made them feel like they could learn about business by watching the show. And Donald Trump was looking for the next great leader in business, which a lot of Americans also really liked.
Right, and he had this air. I remember when the show started, I interviewed him in 2004 as well when that started.
Yeah.
And he had this air of, if you are in this world, you too could be this rich. Mark Burnett, for those who don't know, is a big TV producer, and he did Survivor.
He created Survivor, and then The Apprentice was his next big hit.
Right. Now, you wanted to talk to him for this book, obviously.
I did.
He did not want to talk? Why?
He doesn't want to talk because he still wants people in Hollywood to like him. But he also wants Donald Trump to like him. So he's trying to actually, as a reality TV producer, he knows how to play all alliances. And so he tries to play to both sides. But he is in this book because I was trying to interview him for years. And I talk about our correspondences and our text messages. And I don't want to give it away, but you'll see the way he's woven into the book. And he is a huge character in this book.
Interesting. So we're, just about 4 months away from the election now, and from interviewing Trump, why do you feel it's important that people understand who Trump was in the decade before he ran for president?
One of the things I learned in my 6 interviews with Donald Trump is that he really views the world through the paradigm of reality TV. He likes to be a showman. He looks at show business as the ultimate currency and fame as the ultimate currency. And was really striking to me as I was sitting with him in Trump Tower in the months after he left the White House was that he was reliving all of his feuds. He was talking about how Deborah Messing was mean to him. He was talking about how Kim Kardashian betrayed him. He wasn't interested in legislation or thinking about his legacy or talking about what he accomplished as president. He's really someone who values fame first and foremost, and he is our first reality TV president for a reason.
Yeah, celebrity, we all know, he would be the first to tell you that celebrity is very important to him. Who people like, he wants to be liked, he wants to be accepted. You'd think someone who is president would feel accepted, but you say that's not really the case.
No, he feels like people turn their back on him. But what was alarming was that the former president of the United States was focused so much on feuds, and he wasn't really that interested in the legacy of the highest office in the land. He wasn't that interested in talking about what he accomplished as president, and he actually didn't seem that interested in governing. You
mentioned that he struggled remembering things. You actually called it a server memory issue. What did you mean by that?
So between our first and second conversations, Donald Trump didn't remember that we'd sat down and talked at all, which was a little strange for me. His memory was foggy, and he had issues remembering things in the short term. He was better at remembering things that had happened 20 years ago when he was host of The Apprentice versus things that had happened in recent times. And so because memory is such an issue on this campaign, it is one of the things about my book that people have talked about and asked me about. But Donald Trump struggled with short-term memory in the time that we spent together.
This is not going to surprise you, and I'm sure you've already seen this, but on X, the Trump campaign says, quote, "You're lying in a sad, desperate attempt to sell a book." We've heard him say that about other people who have written about him, things that perhaps he didn't like, but, your response to that.
Donald Trump is a great reality star, and the statement that he issued was right out of reality TV. He likes to stoke feuds and discredit people, and that's one of the reasons why he's been such a successful politician.
All right, Ramin, thanks so much for coming in, and thanks for talking to us about the book. Your book, Apprentice in Wonderland, How Donald Trump and Mark Burnett Took America Through the Looking Glass, is on sale now.